Hello and welcome everyone. This is season 2, episode 89, and it's our first ever misheard song lyric on Whitney Houston's How Will I Know? The misheard song lyric is, I'm asking you 'cause you know about bee stings. Correct lyrics is, I'm asking you 'cause you know about these things. Pretty close, pretty close. So this is close to home for me since I have never been stung by a bee. So I'm not sure if I'm one of those few who will go into anaphylactic shock. So this misheard song of the week is perfect because how will I know? It's true. How will I know? I won't know until it happens. So the best way for me to kind of thwart that is to have that injection ready to go if I do go into shock. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, anaphylactic shock from a bee sting happens to only a small number of folks, but when it does happen, apparently the symptoms are within 2 hours of the incident. There's a progression of go into hives on the face and body with symptoms of headaches, dizziness, fainting, nausea, vomiting, and difficulty breathing and swallowing. Very scary. And I actually found an article online back on July 22nd, 2009 from someone by the name of Momo Zhao with ABC News titled, When One Bee Sting Is Your Last, Scary. It said in the article, according to government statistics, about 3.3% of adults will experience anaphylaxis after an insect sting, and there are 40 as to many of 100 deaths annually from insect sting-related anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is a severe type 1 hypersensitivity allergic reaction in humans and other mammals. And in the same article, they actually shared an example of a person by the name of Ray Shaw. He was a former Dow Jones and Company president and Wall Street Journal publisher who died back then at the age of 75. His family said he had not known that he was allergic to stings, like me, I don't know if I am, and he was found dead in the garage from a single wasp sting. We digress. So we're going to talk a little bit about what this song is about. Whitney Houston, of course, and her tragedy throughout her life until her death, as well as other things that you may have not known about. There's a lot of good did you knows in there. And then before we do, I do want to also share on this other being close to home is it also has a special place in my heart because at the time of its release and popularity, I was around 13 at the time, and I remember dedicating this actual song at my middle school dance where you could actually put in a dedication to someone you have a crush on, and they would, I think they would either read it out loud or put it on some publication that you guys can read. And I put it there because I thought, how will I know? I really like this 8th grader, and he seemed to like me, but we weren't sure, and I was hoping the song dedication to him would help answer that question. Did it? It did not. We played that young game of never saying what we felt, but finding ways to hang out, and needless to say, this same crush is now a dentist somewhere in Arizona, and I think single. So I never knew. Anyway, that's why this song means a lot to me. All right, let's talk about the song. So How Will I Know is a song recorded by American singer Whitney Houston for her 1985 self-titled debut studio album called Whitney. It was released back on November 22nd, 1985 by Arista Records as the album's 3rd single. And it also is one of many to come songs for Whitney Houston. So before we go into the song, let's talk about Whitney. I know probably a majority of you listeners know about her, but there might be someone that really doesn't know her. So, she was born back on August 9th, 1963, and then died on February 11th, 2012. So wow, 9 years ago, just a couple months ago. She was an American singer and actress. She released 7 studio albums, 2 soundtrack albums, all of which have been certified diamond, multi-platinum, platinum, or gold by the Recording Industry Association of America, or RIAA. So her crossover appeal on the popular music charts, as well as her prominence on MTV, influenced several African-American female artists. Plus, she was gorgeous. I remember when I first saw her, I'm like, oh, who is this young singer that I want to emulate? Beautiful voice, but just gorgeous. I guess she had a modeling career as well. And unfortunately, throughout her career, her personal struggles began overshadowing it. And the album Just Whitney back in 2002 actually received mixed reviews. A lot of it in the tabloids that was following her and, all the news is her drug use. And her marriage to singer Bobby Brown received a lot of media coverage. And then after a 6-year break from recording, Houston actually came back to the top of the Billboard 200 charts with her final studio album, I Look to You, back in 2009. Tragically, on February 11, 2012, she was found dead at the Beverly Hills Hilton in Beverly Hills, California. The coroner's report showed that she had accidentally drowned in the bathtub with heart disease and cocaine use as the contributing factors. And they said it was the effects of atherosclerotic heart disease and cocaine use. The office also stated the amount of cocaine found in Houston's body indicated that she used the substance shortly before her death. And then toxicology results revealed additional drugs in her system, diphenhydramine, Benadryl, Xanax, cannabis, aka weed, and Flexeril. And even though all that was found, the manner of the death was listed as an accident. At the same time when this happened, it coincided with the 2012 Grammy Awards and was featured prominently internationally in all the media. That's why she was in town to sing. Houston was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 2020, so just this last year. And then again, tragically, her one and only daughter, Bobby Christina Brown, also died on January 2015, found unconscious in a filled bathtub in her home years later. And after being in a coma for nearly 6 months, Christina Brown died from lobar pneumonia on July 26, 2015. And although at the time her boyfriend or fiance, Gordon, was never charged with any crime related to her death, he was later found responsible in a wrongful death lawsuit in order to pay $36 million to her estate. And after her death, her life was the subject of a television movie in 2017 and a documentary in 2021. So just tragic all around. So I had to give that info for those that don't understand the full story. So let's go back to the song, How Will I Know? So song background. First, Did You Know? Is originally the songwriters George Merrill and Shannon Rubicam actually wrote the song's demo in 1984 for American singer Janet Jackson, who was also employed by A&M Records executive John McClain. However, after they heard the song, her management kind of passed and said, well, it's too weak in comparison to our other material. And in an interview with Fred Bronson, Merrill expressed his feelings after learning of Jackson's decision, quote unquote, "We were pretty upset because we thought it was perfect for her at the time. We had written it with her completely in mind. Had no idea. I mean, I'm thinking Janet Jackson, that song just doesn't seem like it would fit." And then after a bit, they were trying to figure out, well, who would be a perfect match for the song, because it's still a good song. They, during this period, Brenda Andrews at Almo Irving Music, Merrill and Rubicam's publisher, played the song for a Jerry Griffith, the director for R&B music at A&M and Arista Records. There it is, Arista. Griffith, who was compiling material for Houston's debut album at the time, thought the song perfectly matched her sound. He was right. He soon contacted Andrews and the song's two writers and urged them that they should give up the song to him for her debut album. After getting permission to use the song from Merrill and Griffith quickly turned to Narada Michael Walden, who was producing for Aretha Franklin's material for her album, Who's Zoomin' Who? Remember that one? Who's Zoomin' Who? At the time. After getting in touch with Walden, Griffith frantically urged him to produce the song, describing how important the song would be for Houston's upcoming album. And after hearing the song's demo, Walden agreed to fly down to San Rafael, California to arrange it. He was not impressed with the demo and requested permission to change some of the song's lyrics and chord progression. But you know how that happens. You've written it, it's kind of your baby, and then someone's saying, well, it's an ugly baby, well, let me help you fix it. So because of that, distracted by his request, both the songwriters Merrill and Rubicam denied him to write for their song. And after a lot of back and forth with everyone, they all actually compromised and allowed Walden to deconstruct the song and change the key and tempo, which was genius because we have the song today. After completing the song, Houston came into the studio and recorded her vocals in late 1984. The second Did You Know was she had her mom, Cissy Houston, famous gospel singer, join her to perform the song's background vocals. And I got to listen to that because they are the background vocals, Griffith explained. He said, I asked Whitney to sing on the background session. She was reluctant because she wanted to enjoy hearing her mother's sing. I said, no, get out there and sing. So she did. The background sounded incredible. Clive Davis heard the mix and immediately gave it a 10, which is outrageous for him because he doesn't like anything. That's a great tidbit. All right, how did it do? Well, How Will I Know debuted at number 60 on the US Billboard Hot 100 on December 7th, 1985 issue. 9 weeks later, it actually peaked at number 1 on the issue dated February 15th, 1986, becoming Houston's second number 1 single at the time. The next Did You Know 3 is it actually beat out her cousin Dionne Warwick's That's What Friends Are For. That's what friends are for. And then later was actually displaced by Mr. and Mrs. Kyrie. It stayed on peak for 2 weeks. The single also debuted on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Song chart at number 60 and later peaked at number 1 and maintained it for 1 week. On the issue dated January 25th, 1986, How Will I Know entered the Billboard's Dance Club Songs chart at number 30 and later peaked at number 3 on the February 22nd, 1986 issue. So it's done quite well, crossed over different genres, right? It also peaked at number 1 on the Billboard's Adult Contemporary chart. The RIAA certified the single gold on December 6, 1985 for shipments of 500,000 copies or more. Remember back then you had to physically buy the record, cassette tape, whatever. It wasn't downloadable at the time. It marked at number 6 on the Billboard year-end chart. And in Canada, the single debuted at number 80 on the RPM Top 100 Singles, their version of their Billboard charts, issue dated December 14th, 1985. It later peaked at number 1 on the week dated March 1st, 1986, becoming Houston's first number 1 single in Canada. It was later certified gold by the Canadian Recording Industry Association, so their CRIA, on May 1, 1986 for shipments of 200,000 copies or more. It's like a rocket ship and it's going off. What also probably helped the selling of this single and the play is the music video. Like I said, she's gorgeous. And in this video, it was directed by British director Brian Grant and choreographed. I can't even say that word. I'm like somebody, but the dance moves were done by an Arlene Phillips. Was filmed prior to the release of the single and the album. And unlike her past music videos where she's always on stage, she's actually given the opportunity to move beyond the stage performances and to show off some of her dance moves. And the music video is beautiful. It's definitely 80s with the bright pastel colors. She is in this cute little, I think, gray dress with an oversized silver hair bow, which is very iconic. Her hair is dyed light brown, and she's wearing, I guess the dress was made out of, it was silver metal mesh, and it was reaching down her knees, and she was wearing fingerless gloves, which right now, today, in 2021, she could totally wear that, and no one would even skip a beat because it looked great. Houston is also seen choreographing with backup dancers in black outfits and wearing French-style makeup, whatever that means. And then the music video also has, like I said, different paint and splattering paint drizzling down the screen. And then Houston's label mate and family friend, Aretha Franklin, also makes a cameo appearance in the music video. I don't remember seeing her, so I'm gonna have to look again, so look for it. The music video did well. It was her first to receive heavy rotation on MTV, and it was nominated for 2 awards at the 1986 MTV Music Awards in the categories of Best New Artist and Best Female Video, winning the latter, so she won Best Female Video. All right, live performances. It was performed by her on her Greatest Love Tour in 1986, if you were the lucky duck to go to that. Her Moment of Truth World Tour, 87-88. Feels So Right Japan Tour in 1990, and a smattering of other tours. And apart from the concert tour performances, she performed the song on various other occasions, like the 3rd MTV Music Awards in 1986, where she sang How Will I Know and Greatest Love of All, and at the 13th Annual American Music Awards in 1986 and the 87 Brit Awards. And on April 29th, she appeared on the Merv Griffin Show. For those young ones who don't know what I'm talking about, it was a talk show back in the day. It was taped in New York City and she performed How Will I Know. And then on her Moment of Truth World Tour, she actually participated in the Nelson Mandela's 70th birthday tribute concert and performed that song with 7 other songs. She also performed the song on the concert for New South Africa, 3 concerts in 1994 to honor President Nelson Mandela. So there's a lot of connection with her and Nelson Mandela. And she also performed the song on Welcome Home Heroes a concert dedicated to the U.S. troops, their families, and military and government dignitaries in honor of those returning from the Gulf War, which aired on HBO back on March 31st, 1991. The concert was later taped and released on VHS video back on May 14th, 1991. And then again, Houston performed the song on the closing ceremonies on the 1994 World Cup, along with five other songs. In 2000, she performed the song on Arista's 25th anniversary, along with I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me. So this song has gotten a lot of mileage, and I love it. And it works with the whole thing of the misheard song like on bee stings, and also my I don't know if I would die from bee sting question. And it brings me back to back in the day at my former middle school of my crush. So I hope you enjoyed this, memory down memory lane for some of you, for some new ears, something new and some good tidbits. If you're at a quiz or trivia night, you'll have the answer. And as always, keep singing those songs wrong. Bye.